Good evening and welcome to the news brought to you by the Kuwait Malayalikal Group. The headlines for today, Wednesday, the 7th of April 2021 is as follows. Kuwait MOH awaits the outcome of discussion regarding AstraZeneca vaccine. No import of Russian vaccine in Kuwait. University students to return to classrooms in October. Kuwait dinar 5 million to provide health requirements in schools. 50 laundries were closed permanently and 400 temporarily due to corona effects. Now for the news in detail. Kuwait is waiting for the results on the AstraZeneca vaccine by the European Medicines Agency after the revelation about a link between it and rare cases of blood clots. Health sources confirm that so far, the specialized technical committees in the Ministry of Health have not registered any unexpected effects among the group that received the AstraZeneca vaccine. The sources pointed out that the British Medicines Agency announced 30 rare cases of blood clots out of 18.1 million doses of AstraZeneca that were given until March 24th. In response to a question about whether the recipient of the first dose of the AstraZeneca vaccine could take another vaccine after the 3 months between the two doses, the sources clarified that there is an ongoing research in this regard and it is expected that its results will be announced within weeks. Sources revealed about the non-approval of Russian Sputnik V vaccine in the country despite its uses in other countries. They said that all vaccines are periodically studied by the Corona Vaccine Committee at the Ministry of Health and the aforementioned vaccine has not been approved by the organizations. The ministry will not import any vaccines if its clinical trials have not been published clearly and scientifically. The second epidemic wave in Kuwait led to the imposition of partial curfew some time ago. It is expected that the curfew will continue until after Eid al-Fitr if the daily infection rates do not decrease within 30 days. The Kuwait University Council approved the plan for a gradual return to traditional study in October. The students would return to the traditional classroom by the beginning of the academic year 2021 to 2022 in October, provided that the health authorities agree to urgently vaccinate university professors and students. The Ministry of Education has set the initial estimated budget to provide the necessary health requirements in public education schools. The cost amounted to Kuwaiti dinar 5 million to fulfill all the requirements including the provision of sterilizers and masks. Sources emphasize that there are no obstacles to return of classrooms and that school districts have been assigned inventory to fulfill their needs in terms of equipment and materials needed to implement health requirements during the gradual return. Chairman of the Kuwaiti Federation of Laundry Owners, Jamal Al-Ansari, revealed that the number of laundries operating in Kuwait amounts to about 3,000 distributed in all regions and governorates of Kuwait. Of these, 50 laundries have been closed permanently and 400 have been closed temporarily. This came about was a result of their inability to pay the salaries and rents they owe. In light of the situation, Al-Ansari said that a letter was delivered to the Deputy Minister, Ministry of Defence and Chairman of the Corona Emergency Committee, Sheikh Hamad Jaber Al-Ali Al-Sabah, regarding allowing laundries that have a clothing delivery service to work during the partial ban period. It was requested to issue non-exposure permits to their employees, taking into account all health requirements, social distancing and work. In other news, the markets witnessed a remarkable momentum to buy Ramadan goods and supplies a week before the advent of the month of Ramadan. The demand was most intense in the date markets as sales rose by 43%. Mubarakia markets witnessed a large turnout of citizens and residents with adherence to preventive requirements. In Shuaik, shoppers were widely buying food, with the consumer markets offering large offers on Ramadan goods. The same was witnessed in the Dajij area, whose markets have been crowded since the early morning hours for the purchase of household utensils and Ramadan decorations. There has been a noticeable increase in the prices in some Ramadan goods and equipment, especially decorations, whose prices have increased by nearly 100%. Indian Embassy in Kuwait today launched Indian Sports Network ISN, a digital networking platform for the Indian sports lovers in Kuwait. During the launch, Ambassador revealed the Ambassadors Cup ever-rolling trophies for cricket and badminton. The trophy for badminton was handed over to the representative of IBAK, and the trophy for cricket was handed over to Srimati Mamta Kalra, who had played cricket against New Zealand and West Indies. He urged all sports enthusiasts to join these tournaments once they start, depending on the evolving COVID-19 pandemic situation. Embassy is also organizing a sports quiz at its Twitter handle from April 7 to 12th. Thank you for tuning in. This news was brought to you by the Kuwait Malayalikal Group. Tune in tomorrow for more local news. Have a good night.